Hello everybody and welcome to the Real Astrology 1123. I hope all of you are doing very well. This is going to be a general astrology forecast for the week of June 6th to June 12th. And this is Vedic astrology based on your moon signs. So if your moon sign doesn't resonate with you, then go look at the details for your sun sign within the same video. Okay, so now let's take it from the top. I am going to look at if I can move this, okay, really quick. It's going to be for Aries. Okay, so Aries, let's start from June 6th to June 12th, and I'm going to make timestamps. So for you, Aries, the moon will be transiting your 5th, 6th, and 7th house during this week. And Venus and Rahu are already present in your first house of your horoscope. So you will have a few challenges in life, which could cause you a little bit of, stress and anxiety. Challenges are challenges, right? If you have an elder in the family, right, within your family or whatever, there is a possibility that there could be some sort of a drama and some sort of challenge with regards to the health. If you are the elder in the family, the same thing applies. So whether you have an older parent living with you or you are the elder in the family, there could be some sort of a challenge with regards to your health. Try to keep your wits about you, try to keep calm, that sort of thing. Now, for some of you, you will be going on a journey, and it could be that you're going on a journey to meet your family members. Okay, that's a good thing for you all, right? So and that is somehow going to make you feel like you are rebonding with certain family members when you go on this trip, and it could improve your relationships also with certain family members. And I'm just going to say that there are possibilities of you having some very, very serious conversations with your significant other with regards to, the future of your relationship. And what I mean by that is, financial investments. Are you thinking about moving, thinking about relocating, changing jobs? How is it going to affect you? What is the right decision to be made here? So some serious conversations, okay, which is a good thing. Now, I will tell you, for some of you Aries, be very careful with how much information you are wanting to disclose or divulge in terms of a female colleague. This is only applicable for a female colleague of yours at your workplace. Whether you are an Aries, male or female, doesn't matter. But try to be a little bit more private in terms of, and keep your thoughts, your opinions, your feelings, whatever, more private, rather than share with a female colleague of yours who you thought you could trust and this, that, and the other. But here's the thing, that individual is not very trustworthy. That individual is going to throw you under the bus. So for example, if you have been thinking about finding another job, or you're thinking about putting in your papers or quitting or whatever, or maybe you have your opinions about a certain other member in your team or your boss or whatever, and you think by sharing all this with you, this female colleague of yours, it's like you're just venting or whatever, this person is going to throw you under the bus. So be very careful, plain and simple. So for Sagittarius, your moon is going to be transiting 9th, 10th, and 11th house. You are going to be making some very serious decisions, important decisions in your life this week. Again, you will be having these serious conversations regarding to these important decisions with your significant other. There could be a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of stress, because you understand the gravity and the importance of these decisions and how they will affect your future. I also want you to know, Sagittarius, that some of you may be traveling long distance, international and domestic, which is great. You all have Saturn in the 3rd house, so people around you may come up with some brilliant ideas and plans, etc., and say, hey, do you want to partner up with me, that sort of a thing. Don't sign, don't just agree and go and sign and form an agreement with them. If they come up with these crazy ideas or whatever, just listen to them, but this is not the time for you to make a decision and agree on these cockamamie whatever plans, right? Just hear them out. And remember, when I say these people will come up with some brilliant new ideas and plans and want your agreement to go into partnership, this is not your significant other. This is somebody else who's going to be bringing that to you. Not a time to be doing it. Not a time to be doing it. Just say, yeah, okay, I'll think about it, and leave it. They could try to put some pressure on you, but don't fall for it. Before you make any such decisions, remember, you will have to seriously think about the long-term effects, okay? The moon is in your 10th house this week, so some of you employed Sagittarians could see promotions at work, which also means monetary increments. So if you get promoted, you're going to probably get a pay hike, so that's good. You will have to be very diplomatic and very strategic and very disciplined as far as your work is concerned, because all that is being noticed. Even if you do get a promotion, don't get kind of complacent and say, oh, now I'm promoted, I can sit back and chill. No, this is when you really need to show your mettle. Okay, that is for you, Sagittarius. Other than that, I don't see anything crazy going on for y'all. Okay. But these conversations with your significant other, your spouse, your partner, whatever, these are some serious conversations y'all are going to be having. Not that your relationship is going to break up or anything, but it's like you're going to be talking about your future, because I think the two of you are going to be in a situation where your life is at a point in your life where it's like the next phase, the next chapter, that sort of a thing. Okay, so after that, what else do I have for you, Sagittarius? Well, really, all right. So for you, my beautiful Leos, you have your moon is going to be transiting your first, second, and third house this week. Your health is going to be improved a little bit, but for you, Leos, I'm going to say try to avoid any long distance traveling, okay, this week. But if you are forced to go on a long distance traveling, then of course you have to. But on the other hand, if any of you have been putting off any medical examinations or testing or whatever, just because you don't want to, and you have to go on a long distance, try to schedule your medical examinations or testings or whatever before you go on this journey. Very important. So yeah, some of you are going to be traveling, so make sure your medical checkups are done before you go, okay? Try not to overdo addictive behaviors like alcohol and cigarettes and all. Try not to overdo it, because it's just, well, don't. It's not going to behoove you. Y'all may see that your cholesterol or your liver functions could be a little bit affected if y'all are overdoing it. And keep in mind, any financial little boo-boos that you may end up having, it is probably because of health related, either because you have to undergo some sort of a procedure or treatment, and that's going to cost you out of pocket, because in America it's all about copay, right? They basically take everything out of you in the form of copay. So there could be some financial expenses coming up there. Try to get some sleep, try to find some peace of mind, because you are also quite aware of your health, I would say, and you're a bit stressed about it. That's why you've been putting it off for such a long time. So try to kind of chill and have some calm, and if you need to kind of detach yourself from all the worries and stresses at work and just go watch a movie or things like that to kind of calm you down with a loved one, with a family member, then do that, okay? But as far as your career is concerned, if you are employed, you will see a few obstacles as far as your career is concerned, and that could stress you out too. But then again, it's part of life, right? It's not always going to be a bed of roses, correct? So try to mitigate those high levels of stress when you know you are going to have that stress. try to kind of offset it by doing something completely different. Know when to cut it off. Don't bring your work home, and that sort of a thing. So again, time and energy is fluid. This is just for the week, so kind of try to go with the flow. Then who do we have next? Let's go and do my beautiful Cancerians, right? So for my Cancerians, what do we have for you for June 6th to June 12th? Your moon is transiting 2nd, 3rd, and 4th house. You are going to be focusing on family, finances, kids. You're going to be putting in a lot of extra effort and energy into certain projects. You may bump into or find yourself interacting one-on-one with some prominent figures in society. It's either because you've been invited to a network kind of an event or a social event, and whoever this person is, could be a political bigwig, could be a socially very prominent person, somebody quite famous in society. You're going to catch their eye and their attention. It's not so much like a sexual thing or an attraction that way. It's just that, either they heard something about you or they saw something that you did or whatever, and they are like, yeah, I want to meet this person. So they're going to be interacting with you, which is great. And how you conduct yourself during that interaction and that meeting is going to leave a lasting impression on them, which could turn around and be beneficial for you in the long term. So this could be a contact, a network, a communication, a association, a relationship that you will be able to build with this prominent person, which is going to be long lasting. So you know how to conduct yourself, right? And this could also in turn bring you some sort of a profit or a gain, be it in your career or be it in your business or just your own social standing or your own position in society. You will also have to have a very realistic attitude and approach to anything that you do this week. Pay attention to the safety of your personal belongings, whether it's at work or wherever, whether you work for somebody else or you have your own business. You will be surprised that somebody within your environment at work or in your business could steal some of your personal belongings. That could cause a little bit of a financial loss for you. For example, your wallet, you leave it in your drawer, you take off your watch or wristwatch, or you take off your rings and leave it there, and next thing you know, it's missing. And it is going to be at your place of work, whether you are a business owner running your own business, so it could be one of your employees, or if you are a person who's working for another company, it could be one of your co-workers. But be very, very careful about your personal belongings. Don't leave them hanging around. If you need to lock up your office, that sort of a thing. And you know what? Some of your colleagues, right, your co-workers are going to be a little pissed at you for some reason. They're just going to be mad at you. So and on top of that, you throw in this little thing in the mix, like your personal items have been stolen. Everybody's going to be upset, and they'll be upset like, oh my God, when it's like adding fuel to the fire. So that's going to aggravate people even more. Oh, so you suspect me? Oh, so you think I did it? You're like, no, I don't know who did it. I'm just saying that it's missing. So know how to conduct yourself and that sort of a thing. You may also feel like, some plans that you had are not developing or not giving you the results as you expected it or such, and then you will not up to your expectations. The results are not up to your expectations, so you will have to go and rethink and reanalyze your plans and come up with a different strategy to be able to get the benefits and the success that is capable of from that particular project or whatever, right? So that is for you, my beautiful Cancerians. So for you, my beautiful Scorpio, right, what do we have for you for the week of June 6th to June 12th? Moon is going to be transiting 10th, 11th, and 12th houses for you this week. Scorpio, I'm going to tell you something. This is really serious. If you are on a diet, don't jump off your diet right now, right? If you are having any, if you've always had some kind of food allergies, don't kind of be all cocky and say, you know what, maybe I'll try it now. I know I've been allergic to peanuts all my life, but you know what, I feel like eating some peanuts today. Let me do it. I'm sure my body is going to be able to handle it. Just because I was allergic to peanuts 10 years ago doesn't mean I'm still allergic to peanuts. And oh yeah, let me have some peanuts. Don't do that, because guess what, you're still allergic to peanuts. I mean, I'm just using peanuts as an example, so go figure. Again, for those of you who are not used to eating spicy food, you go to a restaurant and there's a challenge. Oh, some 50 million Scoville units is a level of spice in this dish, and if you eat it, complete the dish, and then you will get this and this. And don't get all cocky and say, oh yeah, I'll do it, because guess what, anything that you do stepping out of the norm in terms of your diet this week, you are going to be in a situation where you will be spending money and causing a lot of heartache and concern for yourself and others around you, because you will either go to the ER or at the very least you will be at urgent care. So don't do it. Okay. And that's going to put some financial strain on you, trust me. So please don't do that. Don't try not to spend excessively. Watch your finances this week. Okay. Jupiter and Mars are conjunction in your 5th house this week. If you have any misunderstandings with loved ones, family members, or children, you will be able to resolve that, which is great. You will also be able to go on a few outings with your family members, which is going to help resolve the misunderstandings and kind of help you get on a better foot, if you will, a better what's the word, like your relationship will get better because your misunderstandings are being resolved, right? It shows that you are making an effort to resolve these things. But then if you have been thinking about, planning a family get-together just so that y'all could all talk about your misunderstandings and kind of patch up, and you've been just thinking and haven't really decided to do it, don't be surprised if another sibling or somebody else says, hey, you know what, hello everybody, this Saturday, barbecue at my place, or Sunday barbecue at my place. And then you'll be like, oh, darn it, I was going to invite everybody. Why did you have to go and do that? And you invited them purposefully, even though you knew that I was going to. No, they're not doing it purposefully to get even with you or anything. It's just coincidental. You've been sleeping about it, and you've been thinking about it, but you didn't act on it. Look, they thought about it and they acted on it, right? So what I'm saying is, I'm not asking you to be impulsive, but if you feel that your relationship and with your loved ones or your family members needs to get better and any misunderstandings be resolved, and you have been planning on having an event like this, go ahead and make it happen. Don't just sit on it and keep thinking about it. I'm going to say you have to act on it, right? So that's that for you, my beautiful Scorpios. What else do I have for you? Pretty much that's it. Some planning, right? You'll need to plan, but if you have made a decision, plan quick and act on it, basically. All right, Scorpio. So for you, Scorpio, for the week of June 6th to June 12th, your moon is going to be transiting 6th, 7th, and 8th houses. Money is the focus for you this week. There's going to be some sort of a concern also with regards to declining health. So if you have had any transactions with regards to property buying, selling, etc., that were in the works, it's going to be completed this week. However, you will have a little bit of a blimp as well, because let's say, for example, you had applied for a loan and they were processing it, and then during the process of processing your loan, it took some time and you had to transfer $10,000 from your checking account to your savings account. Now your loan officer is going to call you and say, oh my God, what happened to the money? There's some changes to your financial whatever, where did that money go? And you'll be like, no, the money is still in my account, it's just in my savings account. They'll be like, well, you shouldn't have done that because it's causing some issues. And you'll be like, how is it causing issues? The money is still in my account, in the same account, except it's gone from checking to savings. They'll be like, oh yeah, some bullcrap stuff like that. And that's a little blip. Other than that, whatever that is, the transactions is going to be completed successfully, so don't worry about it, right? And that's going to also kind of put you in a situation where that success is going to benefit you for a long time, okay? A partner, your loved one, spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever, husband, wife, significant other, could be causing you some mental stress, okay? And that's because they're like, you know what, honey, I need a new phone, I need a new camera, I need a new computer, or you know what, I saw this new curling iron or whatever that costs only $300, or I'm just using that as an example. And you're like, you know what, I don't want to be making any big purchases at this point in time because it could affect, this, that, and the other. And they'll be like, oh, so you're not going to get me, or not a curling iron, I suppose I should have said a car or something. And you're like, no, we will buy the car, but just not now. Give me a little bit of time. Let this whole thing settle down with regards to this big property transaction thing, and just give it some time, No now doesn't mean no forever. Let's just kind of hold on for at least a month, and then we'll go make that purchase. We don't have to buy the car and the house all within the same week, that type of a thing. So they could be a little pissed, and you're going to have to talk with them. Don't talk to them, speak with them and speak to them. There's a difference between talking to somebody and speaking with somebody, correct? So diplomacy. They are going to get a little pissed at you, but what are you going to do, right? But by speaking and making them helping them or telling them why you're not willing to pull the plug on this other major purchase at this point, and I will hopefully help them understand that, hey, yes, it's going to happen, it's just not going to happen right now. For this and this reason, and I'm looking out for the best interest of us, right? They may think, oh, you're just being selfish, and you'll be like, no, hang on a second. So other than that, nothing crazy going on for you all, my beautiful Pisces, for you this week, okay? So for you, my beautiful Taurines, what do we have for you for this week, June 6th to June 12th? The moon is going to be transiting 4th, 5th, and 6th house, so it's going to affect property, mother, education, debt, and health. Try to keep yourself fit, so, because of all the work around you, the stress around you, the better shape your physical body is, it's going to benefit you. The Sun and Mercury is placed in your first house, which is good. So, for example, if you had any little boo-boos with regards to property, mother, education, debt, and health, those little boo-boos or that little negative energy is going to be kind of subdued because of the way the Sun and Mercury is placed. So, if any negative stuff is happening, it's going to be very, very minimized, very little compared to if the Sun and Mercury were not well placed. So in other words, the balance. So it's not going to be that big of a situation for you. If you have any health issues, if you have any debt issues, property issues, right, entanglements regarding mother, education, etc., anything boo-boo going on there is going to be very, very minimum. You're going to be able to overcome any of that. Also, I'm going to say, try not to lend money to anybody. Try not to borrow money from anybody, but if you have an opportunity to pay back a loan, do it. If any of you all have a mother or a mother figure whose health is kind of been a little iffy, this week they're going to feel a little bit better. If you yourself are a mother and you've been struggling with your health this week, you're going to feel a little bit better. Any property related issues, if you've had any sort of a legal drama going on, that's going to be resolved. It's not going to be as, if it isn't resolved, you're going to find out that it's not as bad as you thought it was going to be, that sort of a thing. Okay, you will have a chance to repay your debt also this week if you have a debt. So you as long as you put in the effort, as long as you work for it, put in the effort, put in the work that you need to put in to be able to resolve these issues, you will see good results come from it. All right. But if you are not willing to work, and if you're not willing to put in the effort to kind of resolve, just because the stars are sitting in a position that's like, oh, let them do all the work. No, the universe wants you also to take proactive measures. As long as you put in the effort, as long as you do your due diligence to resolve any negative stuff that's going on in your life, you will be fine. So if you don't put in the effort, then of course it's going to kind of ramp up, right? So now, did I not see for you, my beautiful Taurians? Let me see. On June 3rd, Mercury went direct in Taurus. So communication. And Mercury rules Gemini, and Gemini is your second house. And second house values talents, possessions, ability to earn income, that sort of a thing. So there is a little bit of momentum picking up over there. As long as you're smart and manage it financially, you'll be able to kind of see good things come of it. But if you take a lackadaisical attitude and get complacent, that's not going to work for you, my beautiful Taurians. So that's that. For you, my beautiful Capricorns, for the week of June 6th to June 12th, Moon is transiting 8th, 9th, and 10th house. There could be some ongoing drama in your personal life with regards to your personal relationship at home, which could really add to your rising stress. It could also cause you some health issues as well, because this is an ongoing thing that you've been struggling with for the past few weeks, I would say. Moon and Ketu in your 10th house this week is showing me that those of you who are business owners, you may have to relocate your business. You may have to either, maybe you had rented an office space for your business and then your lease has expired, or maybe something happened and they're like, oh no, you need to leave, and you're scrambling to find another place or location, and then that's going to add more stress to you. If you are an employee of a company, they're going to come to you and say, oh, you know what, by the way, we are going to relocate you or move you to the other office, and the other office may be 20 miles further away from your home, and maybe the opposite direction or whatever. And then you're like, what? Like, why? Or they may say, you know what, we are going to have to literally relocate you to another city or state or country, and that's going to cause even more drama at home, because as is, your personal relationship at home is not very healthy. So all this is going to cause more drama and more stress, and more mental stress is going to finally take an effect on your health, and you are either going to end up with, I don't know, maybe an asthma attack for those of you who are asthmatic, or maybe major migraines, or just fatigue, and just like your body is breaking down. So please try to take care of yourself. At the end of the day, your health is the most valuable asset that you will ever have. So try to take care of it. And yes, sometimes it's a little bit of a struggle. Maybe the significant other just chooses not to understand, or maybe it's because they themselves are going through some drama in their own horoscope or whatever. Or maybe the relationship just plain is done for, and this is just last minute, end of the line push and pull type of a thing. So it's going to be a little challenging for you this week, a little bit of a drama, because your personal life is going to affect your work, and the changes in your work environment is going to affect your personal life. So it's like Can I catch a break here? Unfortunately, you're not going to be catching a break this week, which is very, very sad. But also, I'm going to tell you, as far as your work is concerned, as pissed and as offended as you may be, whether you are an employee of the company that is being moved or whether you are a business owner that has to move, be very careful. Don't try to vent. This is the time when you have to be really diplomatic, really diplomatic, because there could be some conspiracy drama going on at work or even in the business environment, that in the workplace basically, that by no fault of yours, somehow you are going to be caught in the dragnet, and then ultimately you'll come to find out that, oh, they are actually making you responsible for all this drama. They're going to pin it on you when you had nothing to do with it. So this is the time for you to be really diplomatic, very straightforward, very clear cut, very goal oriented, driven, in terms of making things very clear, being very transparent when you have to be transparent. If you had a vague idea as to, what this conspiracy was going on, or who is the other employee or person at your workplace that was doing all this mischief, it's not too late. Maybe now you have to kind of do what you need to CYA. That's it, Capricorn. Be careful this week. Virgo, for you, June 6th to June 12th. The moon is transiting 12th and first house for you. Virgo, I'm going to tell you this straight up. If you are somebody who's out socializing or not, if you consume any alcohol, do not get behind the wheel. Period. Oh, I had just a beer. I don't care. Whether you had a beer, half a beer, a quarter of a beer, whatever, just don't. If you are inebriated in any way, shape or form, please don't. If you have consumed any prescription drugs that very clearly states do not operate heavy equipment, do not drive, etc., please don't get behind the wheel. If you have taken any substance that in any way, shape or form impairs you in any way, shape or form, or in any degree, do not get behind the wheel. If you go out partying and you're a bunch of people, you don't have a designated driver, and somebody says, oh yeah, I had the least amount of alcohol, so I think I'm the best one to drive, I say, heck no, call a cab. But when you call a cab, make sure the cab driver is not under the influence of alcohol. The reason I'm stressing is just the way the planets are for you this week. And remember, this is general. This does not apply to everybody. But having said that, it is general common knowledge not to get behind a wheel. DUIs are never good. So that should be standard procedure, right? Because for some of you, this could lead to a fatality. For others of you, this could lead to serious legal consequences and loss of money, loss of health, a lot of problems. So please be very clear. If you want to have a drink, and first and foremost, if you are of legal age, I would say just stay home, right? Just basically stay home. I'll tell you something though. Raising my boys, and when they were of age where they could consume alcohol, I would always tell them, I say, look, you want to have alcohol? How about you have alcohol at home and stay at home, period. Right? So, at least you're not putting anybody else under risk by getting behind the wheel. And I'm a lightweight. I'll fess up to that. Like, I first and foremost don't consume alcohol anywhere close to, like, I'm not even a social drinker. I don't think I would qualify as a social drinker. If I have I don't even know. I can't even tell you when was the last time I had a whole glass of wine. I couldn't even tell you. If I have like a half a glass of wine, it's like I'm done. I'm like, I am asleep. It just knocks me out. I need to go to bed. So I can't even tell you the last time I had like a whole glass of wine, or even like, it's just, I can't do it. My body doesn't process it. I just will sleep. I'm knocked out. So for me, if at all I do want to have a drink, on the rare occasion that I do, I have a drink at home, and that's it. I have whatever I can, and then, you know, half the time my glass isn't even emptied, even if I pour myself half a glass of wine, because for some reason it just knocks me out, y'all. And then I'll be like fast asleep. If I go out, let me tell you this, there's a very rare occasion that I drink alcohol outside, simply because I know my body, and I'm going to be like, probably at the dinner table I'll be asleep. So that's embarrassing, and it's just not good social etiquette. So by default, I become the designated driver, because I don't consume alcohol, right, when we go out. So that works out in everybody's interest. So, you know, be very, very careful. This is serious, and this is not something to fool around with. Again, this is general, but this may not apply to all Virgos. But having said that, I cannot reiterate enough, it is common sense, and it should be practiced. This kind of a thing should be practiced by everybody. Do not consume anything that could impair your judgment and drive. Period. Right? So, and I also want to say, try to refrain from expressing your true feelings to anybody in your immediate family, because, you know, you may be expressing your true feelings because you feel like you can trust that person, and that, you know, who else are you going to be able to talk to, right? But unfortunately, I'm going to tell you, I don't know how to say it. Keep your feelings to yourself this week, because I feel like whoever it is that you feel like you're going to be able to confide in, they are going to take advantage of this and throw it back at you at another time, and you don't want that. Some of you Virgos could also have some opportunity for international travel, and because of this travel, or during this travels, you may be able to make some good contacts and establish some good contacts, or re-establish some contacts that you might have had during this trip, and that could develop into something more in the near future. So that's good for you folks, right? So I am going to leave it at that for you, my beautiful Virgos, okay? So for you, my beautiful Geminis, for the week of June 6th to June 12th, Moon is going to be transiting your 3rd, 4th, and 5th houses. You are going to put in a lot of effort and focus to be able to fulfill your goals, and to bring them to fruition. So with all that effort that you're putting in, you know, you are going to hope that you see success, right? Yeah, because it's like, you know, I'm investing so much, I better well see success. And you will see success. That's not in any way, shape, or form, you know, doubted. But there is going to be a little bit of drama when you're putting in so much of effort and focus, trying to make all your dreams and hopes and aspirations, or whatever project you have at hand to be completed, and, you know, all that stuff. You may be a little careless in certain aspects of this whole process that could cause you a little bit of concern. So pay attention to detail. And you're going, well, Kirtana, I am paying attention to detail. Well, pay more attention to detail, okay? And on the other hand, for some of you, your careless attitude towards your finances could cause you some financial stress, right? So try to maintain a balance, right? And be very cognizant. You know, you may find things to be very very attractive. You know, you want this, you want that. Hey, I want everything too, but at the same time, I want to make sure, you know, how much of a value is that item going to have in my life, right? I could spend $100,000 or whatever, $100, $1,000 or $10,000, but then again, how much use am I going to get out of that money spent on that object or that service or whatever? So try to pay attention, like, is it really worth it, right? Think about it before you jump into it. Be careful while you're doing any financial dealings. If you are in a situation where you have to sign some documents because of financial dealings, I'm going to say be super, 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 super careful, and try to have a very what's the word? I think you should go about it in a very conservative manner. Like, don't be careless. Be very conservative. If you have to read the document 20 times, then read it. If you have to cross the I's and dot the T's, edit, whatever, just be super careful. Another thing I want to say for some of you Geminis this week, you may be having some weird sort of conversations with your family members who live with you, right? It could be as simple as lift up that toilet seat when you go use the restroom, or, wipe it down, or, put away your dishes, or go do your room, or, you leave all your things on the counter, or go brush your teeth, or did you shower today, or, you make a mess when you cook in the kitchen, clean up after yourself, or, why do you leave things that are hanging around in the microwave? So it's more an argument you're going to have with whoever, be it a child, a spouse, or significant other who lives in the same home as you. And the arguments are going to be about either their hygiene or personal hygiene, or their civic hygiene, or just their approach to hygiene and taking care and cleaning up after themselves in the house, in the common area, or whatever. So, it's a weird kind of conversation, but it's going to really piss the snot out of you. And they're also going to be a little bit annoyed. Let's say they cook breakfast and, they cleaned up the stovetop, but they left all the dishes in the sink, and you're pissed because you're like, why are these dishes still in the sink? Breakfast was 8 hours ago, and yeah, fine, I'll clean it, whatever. Or even their personal hygiene. Maybe, this is somebody who sweats a lot and they have not been using a deodorant, and you'll be like, why aren't you using your deodorant? Well, I ran out of deodorant. Well, why didn't you tell me you ran out of deodorant? I would have got you some more, or, that sort of a thing. So for those of us who have, teenagers in our lives, we know exactly how that goes, right? All right, Geminis, that is it for you. All right, for you, my beautiful Librans, what do we have for you for the week of June 6th to June 12th, right? So let's take a look. Librans, for you, Moon is transiting in the 11th, 12th, and 1st house for you this week. You will have to pay attention to your mental health. In other words, you could be having a lot of stress, mental stress. So you need to do whatever you need to do to kind of detach yourself from all these stresses that are going on. We all have stress in our lives one way or the other, right? At one time or the other. But you really need to be paying attention to unwind, detach, take some time off, step back, dial it back, detach yourself a little bit, and pay attention to your peace of mind. Whether that means, just basically telling everybody, leave me alone for the next 3 hours, I don't want to be disturbed, and you just go into your room and, I don't know, shut the door and read a book, or read comics, or listen to music, or just fall asleep, or meditate, or just daydream, whatever. Try to kind of make the time. You will feel like you're being pulled in 20 different directions, and that's like, oh my God, this is crazy. So try your level best to detach yourself and kind of pay attention to your mental health. And some of you could be getting into depression, some of you are already depressed, so please pay attention. Mental health is pretty serious. If you are dealing with such struggles, reach out to any number of those organizations that provide 24 hours of support. Okay, you go online, you can text, you can talk, you can call, you can that sort of a thing. So take care. Okay. And I'm also going to say something else for some of you Librans. Look, be very, very, very careful about intimate relationships, at this point in time, intimacy at this point in time. What do I mean by that? So let's say you are really kind of, just want to chill. You call your girlfriend or your boyfriend or whoever it is and say, hey, I'm coming over, or they come over, and you are consenting adults and have consensual sex. The next thing you know, this person who consented to having consensual sex with you, and that individual is an adult, will turn around and say, well, I was forced, and this was more like, I was forced to having sex and I didn't want to, or well, that was abuse, or if you go to a public area and then you meet somebody you haven't met in a long time and you go to give them a hug or a kiss on the cheek, then all of a sudden they're like, whoa, dude. I mean, and at work, for example, let's say you genuinely compliment somebody, you look nice in that dress. It's a genuinely, it's a very innocent compliment. It's just a compliment, nothing else to it. That person will say, well, they were like, oh, the different types of people can twist and turn things. So be very careful. But if you are one of those individuals who's wanting to have intimate relations with somebody, be it I don't know, be it a booty call, or be it somebody be it somebody you have a relationship or you don't have, be it a random kind of a thing, or with a stranger, or whatever it is, listen, I'm going to tell you to please refrain from that activity this week, because for some unfortunate Librans, even though this could be consensual, it is going to be spun around and they are going to make allegations saying that you forced them into this act, which becomes sexual abuse, sexual violence, rape, that, this or the other. So please be very careful. Also, let's say you are at a restaurant or at a bar, or the waitress or the waiter comes and serves you something, and whether it is same sex or heterosexual or the opposite sex, I don't care, you make a observation, oh my god, your complexion is so nice, that person will misconstrue it. It's the weirdest dang thing, and you actually just very simply said that because that person does have very nice complexion. It was just a compliment, there was nothing to it, but they're going to misconstrue this. So this week, be very careful about all that. So I'm telling you, rather than go out in public and do whatever, just kind of chill, calm yourself, read a book, go swim, go jog, go read a book, or go to the library, and or just go hiking, and then you'll be like, Kirtana, well, you said some of us Librans may be struggling with mental health and depression, and that's the worst time to be alone. I get it. Remember, mental health and depression is not for every Libran this week. Some of them may be struggling with that, so seek help if that's the case. But for others of you who are just stressed, and let's face it, some folks may try to relieve stress. They may feel like having intimate relations with somebody could relieve their stress. So in a situation like that, I'm going to say be careful. I cannot stress that enough. Some of y'all may be in a situation where you are going to be making a very important decision with regards to your profession, either changing your job or just quitting and doing something else totally different. Don't make a hurried decision. Think it through. Think it through. If you feel like you have to, then you have to. Some of y'all may find certain younger family members demanding for things like, child may come up and say, I want a new smartphone or a new laptop. Well, what's wrong with the other one? Well, it's not the latest. Well, you'll have to put your foot down and say, not now. It's not broke. You don't need another one. It's able to take care of all your needs now, so why do you need another one? They could be demanding because of peer pressure. So all this causes some stress. So this week, be a little careful, Librans, okay? When you know that you have that kind of an energy around you, this is, that's the thing about astrology, right? It's not so much to predict the future, but it is to say that, okay, this is the kind of energies that are going to be around you because of the way the planets are, and this is the effect it's going to have on you. So now that you know forewarned is forearmed, just be careful and watch out, right? Know where the pitfalls are, know what you need to take advantage of, and when you need to hold back, that sort of a thing. So that is for you, my beautiful Librans. Aquarius, for you for the week of June 6th to June 12th, right? The moon is transiting your 7th, 8th, and 9th houses, okay? Lot of people, almost every single moon sign or sun sign here, I feel, is having some sort of a stress in their life this week. You through your dedication and hard work, you will have the opportunity to make some money. You will have some good opportunities come by to make money, as long as you do your due diligence and go about it in a very informed way, make informed decisions. You will see benefits from those investments, but make sure that these are traditional investments, not some cockamamie flash in the pan type of investment, okay? You will have to really take care of how you speak, what you speak, the words you use, and the tone of voice you use. Because you could very easily be misunderstood and conveniently misunderstood, and that could lead to quarrels. It could lead to separations, fraying relationships, that sort of a thing. And even in a place of work, or let's say if you're a business owner or whatever, if there is some drama that is going on over there, be very, very careful. Let's say, your boss is yelling and screaming at you and you're not responsible for it. I'm going to say, rather than push back and say, shut up and sit your butt down and how dare you speak to me like that because you're my boss, you can't get, don't say that. I'm going to say, just keep quiet, because even though you're not responsible and you have every right to stand up and say hush, the boss is going to see it like an ego, because he's coming from a place of ego. He's going to feel like, oh, you're challenging him, and the next thing you know, you're going to be in a little bit of you're going to be on the hot seat. So watch out for that. Rather than that, just let them talk, just keep quiet, wipe that smirk off your face, and after everything has subsided, go and have a conversation, and you will be surprised at how bad your boss feels, how apologetic they are, and they will most definitely do everything they can to make that wrong right, okay? So just don't, for the moment, don't react, just wait it out. It's difficult. I mean, me, I'll be like, I would be up on my feet and basically, it's natural to react like that, but I'm saying just be careful. Even if it is a kind of a dilemma or an argument like that at home and somebody's getting all up in your face in your business, don't walk away, because then they'll be even more pissed. Just keep quiet, and after everything has subsided, then go and have a conversation with them, and then you will realize that it had nothing to do with you. You just happened to be somebody there, and they had to bash you for no fault of yours. Am I asking you to be a walkover? No, that's not what I'm saying. Sometimes it's better to just stay quiet until the whole thing subsides, and then when all the tempers have calmed down, then to have a conversation, and then it's easier to resolve. In that moment, in that heated moment, and that moment of whatever argument, if you also pop up and you also start talking, things are just going to escalate, and it will escalate, and it will not be in your favor. So just wait, okay? Just wait a little bit. So that's pretty much what I have to say. And also, try not to be too critical of people around you. Even though they warrant that criticism, try not to, okay? That's about that for you, my beautiful Aquarians. Thank you so very much.